Hi, this is a little tool called BezelEase. And what BezelEase does is it makes castellated, serrated bezels. Cut out the piece of bezel. It's 0.999 fine silver. And I filed the edges smooth on both sides. And what I'm going to do now is and I'll leave it loose enough so I can open it up here. And I'm going to take my material and I'm going to slide it in here between the two pieces, and I'm going to snug up on one end. Okay, you can finger tighten it or you can use an Allen wrench to get a little tighter if you need to be. And it's almost to the very top, but just a little step back a little bit. Okay, the drill vise, set this in here. Notice how it just sets right in there, spaces itself in, and tighten it up. And we're good to go. So I need my saw now, and a little burr knife, and I go into the first slot, and I want to do like 3 strokes, 3.5, 4 strokes. So let's do 4 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all you got to do all the way down the road. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep on going down to the end. And each one of these will be perfectly square. Okay, there's the last one. Loosen up the vise. Take the BezelEase out. Loosen it up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slide this down until we get the rest of this material ready to cut. And what you want to do is you want to line it up perfectly. So you don't want to miss a spot over here. Okay, I don't want it too deep. Just want it just below the surface. Okay. Once again, I want to line it up. Perfect. So what you can do if you want to is you can take your saw and you can put it in there and see if it's lined up, which this one is. And we're going to tighten this, and we're going to tighten this end. And once again, we're going to do 4 cuts. Slide this back in. Secure this vise here. All right, so our last castellation is here. So we're going to go into the next slot. And a little burr knife first. And here we go. Oops. Okay, loosen up the vise. Take BezelEase out. And first thing we're going to do is take our material out. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these bolts all the way out. And we're going to put the step spacers in. And they should be able to line up so it's 2 millimeters down from the top. And put the faceplate on. Okay, screw that in. Screw that in. Okay. And starting from the same side we started before, we're going to put BezelEase in there. Line BezelEase up with the slots once again. The more time you take to make sure your slots are aligned, the better your cuts will be. There we go. Now this sits right on top of that little ledge of those two spacer plates. You can use one spacer plate. It's helpful to use this spacer, step spacer. Once again, just double check for alignment. The better you align it, the better your cuts will be. Okay, little burr life, and off and running. So we're going to do 3 cuts here. Let me make that a little bit tighter. Like I said, you can use an Allen wrench, a 3/16 Allen wrench, to tighten this up. There we go. And there we go. This way it won't move. You don't want to cut too far, because if you do, you'll cut through your metal. And that would not be a good thing. And just follow the lines down. Okay. Let's loosen this up a little bit. And loosen the vise just a little bit. And slide the metal down. Okay, make sure they're lined up. Okay. Allen wrench to tighten it up a little bit. Okay. Back into the vise. Okay. Little burr life. And the last one we cut was there, so here we are. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And loosen this up. Loosen BezelEase up. And there you go. The castellations are all in there. Everything's perfectly even. And next thing I would do with this thing is I would take it and get it annealed. Okay, so I've annealed my bezel, and as you can see, all the cuts are in there, perfectly square, perfect cuts all the way down. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just bend this around to fit my stone. Bend the bezel around to fit my stone. So I'll start halfway around, and if you want to use pliers, that may be a good idea, just to get the feeling of this thing here. Okay, all right, and there we go. And okay, so it's all the way around. You want to make sure it's a snug but not too tight, because you're going to have to get your stone back in there. And then what you want to do is you want to bring this side around and try to get it to match up to one of the castellations. So it looks like this guy right over here is going to be the one that we're going to be best suited with. So we're going to cut this one right here. Go ahead and solder this, and we'll be right back. So I've soldered this together and cleaned it up, quenched it, pickled it, and hopefully it'll fit around here. So let's see. Oh, perfect. So let's see if it fits in from this side. Oh, this is perfect. All right. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to just file the bottom. And there we go. Nice and flush. And that it still fits in there nicely, and at that it does. Okay. Okay, so I took the bezel and I put it onto a back plate, and my back plate stamped with my maker's mark and 0.925. And basically I could cut this out and put a bail on it, or put a ring shank on it and finish it up. So I've cleaned up this bezel. I put on the shank and I put it in the tumbler for a little while, and this is the finished bezel. And it's got the serrates all the way around, and the serrates on top, and now it's time to set the stone. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that my stone fits in there okay. And what I recommend doing is using a piece of dental floss to in case the stone just needs to be pulled out, and this stone fit in there perfectly. So you can take this out. Then I'm going to just leave it just like that. And now what I want to do is I want to start bending the castellations, the serrates, so I can set my stone. So put it in a ring clamp. I don't have a setting vise. I'll have to invest in one of these days. Okay, and with my bezel tool, I just take it and just a little bend over here, north, south, east, and west. Finished. So I've set the bezel, press the sides in all around. There's a little bit of tool marks on the outside, so I'll take my my emery paper, my emery stick, and just go around and take off those little tool marks, and then I'll go over to the polisher and polish this guy up, and I'll show you the finished ring, and I hope you enjoyed it.